Hey there, folks. Let me ask you something. When's the last time you really looked at your spare change? I mean, really squinted at it. Because hidden among those quarters rattling around your cup holder, your junk drawer, or your pockets could be a little silver colored ticket to $1 million payday. Today we're talking about one unassuming hero of the coin world, the 1988 D Washington quarter dollar. Yeah, that's right. A quarter. 25 cents. And it could be worth $1 million. If that doesn't make you want to go rummage through the couch cushions, I don't know what will. So grab your magnifying glass, pour yourself a cup of coffee, and settle in, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why collectors will pay insane amounts of money for this little piece of metal, and how you can tell if you're sitting on a small fortune. The 1988 D Washington quarter was minted in Denver, as the D under the eagle on the back will show you. Denver churned out over 596 million of these quarters that year. Most are worth face value, but a rare few have extraordinary qualities that make collectors' hearts race faster than a kid finding out recess got extended. So what makes this coin worth $1 million today? You see, it's all about rarity, condition, and specific mint errors that can make an otherwise average coin incredibly desirable. The Washington quarter was first issued in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. The obverse shows his left-facing profile designed by John Flanagan. The reverse in 1988 still displayed the classic eagle with wings spread wide, but in 1988, there were a few coins struck with die errors, doubling, and exceptionally sharp strikes on planchets that shouldn't have made it through quality control. These are the coins that can fetch astronomical prices. Let's run through the big reasons a 1988 D quarter can be worth $1 million. Some 1988 D quarters have dramatic double dies, meaning the design elements were stamped twice, slightly offset, causing visible doubling. You might see it in the date, the word liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust." Another jackpot error is an off-center strike, where the design is shifted so much that part of the coin is blank. The more dramatic, the better, but you still want the date and mint mark visible. Every so often, a quarter blank isn't really a quarter blank. Sometimes a planchet meant for a different coin, like a nickel or a foreign denomination, sneaks into the machine. When struck with quarter dies, the result is a freakish hybrid collectors go crazy for. Some 1988 D quarters were preserved in immaculate condition. We're talking MS68 or higher on the grading scale, no scratches, no blemishes, perfect luster. In auctions, collectors have paid eye-watering sums for these pristine coins. Add all this up, and you get a perfect storm for $1 million value. If it's significantly lighter or heavier than 5.67 grams, you might have a wrong planchet error. If your coin looks flawless, you might have a high-grade gem. Even if you think you found a winner, you'll need to have it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm authenticity and assign a numeric grade. It can take weeks, and sometimes it feels like you're sending your kid off to college. But if it comes back certified, you're in business. High-end auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbauer's, reputable coin dealers specializing in errors and rare grades, never, ever clean your coin. You can destroy thousands of dollars in value faster than you can say brasso. Let me tell you a quick story about why I'm so passionate about this. A few years back, my Uncle Pete called me up sounding like he'd won the lottery. He was cleaning out an old coffee tin that he used as a coin jar. Inside, he found a 1988 D quarter that looked practically untouched. He thought it was just shiny. But I convinced him to send it in for grading. It came back MS68. He sold it at auction for $42,000. But it was enough to remodel his kitchen and take the entire family to Disney World. All because he took 5 minutes to check. That taught me a lesson. The coins we ignore every day can change our lives if we pay attention. The Washington quarter was supposed to be a one-year commemorative but proved so popular it stuck around. The Denver Mint began operation in 1906 and still strikes billions of coins every year. And if you're thinking this is all too good to be true, remember, rare coins have consistently outperformed many traditional investments over time. It comes down to scarcity, desire, and bragging rights. Owning one of the finest examples of a coin that millions held in their hands is like owning a piece of history. Wealthy collectors compete to have the best collections, and they'll pay top dollar to complete them. It's not that different from vintage sports cars, comic books, or art, only this treasure might be sitting in your change jar right now. We've covered why the 1988 D Washington quarter can be worth $1 million, from rare mint errors to pristine grades. We've talked about how to identify them, how to get them certified, and how to sell them for top dollar. Don't dismiss your spare change. One coin could flip your financial story upside down in the best way possible. Before you run off to check every quarter you've ever touched, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right here. I share weekly tips on spotting valuable coins, strategies for selling them, and stories that inspire you to see your spare change as a real investment. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment below if you think you might have one of these $1 million quarters. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next time someone tells you coins are boring, you can smile, because you know the secret. Sometimes 25 cents can be worth $1 million. Hey there, treasure hunters and fellow coin geeks. Welcome back to the channel that turns pocket change into serious cash. Let me ask you something. Have you ever pulled some coins out of your car cup holder, looked at that shiny quarter, and thought, what if this little guy could buy me a house? Well, today you might just find out it can. Because we're diving deep into the incredible story of the 2019 P America Memorial Park quarter dollar. That's right, a coin minted just a few years ago with a current market value that's tipping the scales at a mind-blowing $1 million. So grab your magnifying glass, maybe pour yourself a cup of coffee, or heck, something stronger, because by the end of this video, you might be itching to raid every piggy bank you can find out. We'll cover exactly why this coin is so special, how you can spot one, the fascinating history behind it, and the strategies to make sure you don't accidentally spend a $1 million coin on a vending machine burrito. Stick around, because I've got a personal story about the time I almost spent a valuable quarter on a stale gas station donut, and believe me, you'll want to hear how that turned out. The 2019 P America Memorial Park quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. This series began back in 2010, highlighting national parks and historic sites across the United States. America Memorial Park itself is located in Saipan, the Northern Mariana Islands. It commemorates the American and Marianas people who fought and sacrificed during World War II. It's a beautifully designed coin with an image of a young Chamorro woman standing at the flag circle, both a tribute and a reminder of history. Not every 2019 P quarter is created equal. Most are worth 25 cents. Some are worth a couple of bucks if they're in perfect condition. And then, there are the few rare examples with an unusual combination of striking errors, pristine preservation, and eye-popping demand from collectors. Those are the ones crossing the $1 million threshold. And now you're probably wondering, what exactly makes a coin from 2019 so ridiculously valuable? Some of these coins left the mint with dramatic die errors, like doubled dies, off-center strikes, or misaligned dies. These errors make the coins unique and highly desirable. Top-grade examples, especially those rated MS68 and above by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, are incredibly scarce. There's a strong demand for modern error coins, especially ones in the America the Beautiful series. When supply is low and demand is high, the price goes ballistic. Put those factors together, and you have a seemingly ordinary quarter worth $1 million. Let's break that down with an example. Imagine you're at the grocery store checkout line. You pull out a handful of change, and the cashier casually slides your America Memorial Park quarter into the register. Boom! You just gave away a down payment on a vacation home. It must have a P mint mark, located just below "In God We Trust." Look closely for doubling in the letters, especially in the words America and E pluribus unum. The background surfaces should be nearly flawless, mirror-like, with minimal scratches. If you think you've got something special, don't clean it. Submit it to a professional grading service. I'll tell you straight, most of the ones you find will be ordinary. But if you find the error version in gem condition, you're sitting on a small fortune. Error examples in MS66 to MS67? You're looking at a few $1,000s. MS68 plus error coins have fetched auction prices as high as $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1 million for a coin that could be rattling around in your pocket right now. Collectors are willing to pay premium prices to complete their high-grade error sets. That's why this coin holds such staggering value. A couple of years ago, I was on a road trip across the Southwest. I stopped at this little gas station in the middle of nowhere, one of those places where everything smells like beef jerky and motor oil. I was starving. I grabbed a microwavable burrito and a stale powdered donut. When I went to pay, I fished around in my cup holder and handed the clerk a few quarters until I got back in the car and glanced down at the one coin still sitting in the cup holder. It was an America the Beautiful quarter, glinting in the afternoon light. Just for fun, I looked it up on my phone and realized it was an America Memorial Park quarter, 2019 P, in nearly uncirculated shape. I bolted back inside. The cashier looked at me like I was nuts when I asked if I could trade back one of the quarters I just handed over. Sure enough, I found my coin. Thankfully it wasn't the $1 million version, but it was still worth about $50. And that's when it hit me, always check your change. Even if you're hangry and your only thought is, must eat donut. Before you go on a quarter hunting spree, let's cover some practical strategies to protect your valuable finds. Keep anything unusual in a designated container. A jeweler's magnifier will help you see small details. Handling coins with bare hands can leave oils and smudges. Take clear photos and note where and when you found the coin. Contact reputable coin dealers or grading services. These simple habits can save you from a lifetime of regret. Today, we uncovered the incredible story of the 2019 P America Memorial Park Quarter. A coin that most people treat as pocket change, but in rare cases, it can buy you a dream house, fund your retirement, or pay off all your debt. Remember, finding $1 million coin isn't just about luck, it's about knowledge, patience, and a little bit of hustle. So next time you're about to toss your spare change in a tip jar or feed a parking meter, take a closer look. You never know what hidden treasures you're holding. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and hit the bell so you never miss a new tip on coins that could change your life. And if you've ever found an interesting coin, or maybe almost spent a valuable one, drop your story in the comments below. I love hearing from fellow collectors. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. Remember, the next time you reach for a quarter, you might just be reaching for $1 million. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Let me ask you something, have you ever checked the change rattling around in your kitchen junk drawer? You know the one I'm talking about. The drawer stuffed with spare keys, old batteries, maybe a random screwdriver or two, and enough coins to buy yourself a cup of coffee, or maybe even a mansion. Today, we're diving into one of the most surprising, little-known coins out there, the 1999 P Georgia quarter dollar. That's right, a regular-looking quarter that, if you happen to own the right one, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.10 million. Stick around because I'm going to tell you everything you need to know, what to look for, why it's so valuable, and how you could turn an innocent-looking 25-cent piece into life-changing money. Plus, I'll share a personal story that proves you never really know what hidden gems are lurking in your pockets. First, a little background. In 1999, the U.S. Mint kicked off the 50-state quarters program. This was a big deal. Each state got its own unique design, and folks everywhere started hoarding quarters like they were golden tickets. Georgia was the fourth state to be honored, right after Delaware, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. The Georgia quarter features a peach, because of course it does, along with an outline of the state and a sprig of live oak. Millions of these were minted, but here's the twist, some of them ended up with rare minting errors or conditions that make collectors drool. And that's where the real money comes in. If you're wondering what that little P under the word Liberty stands for, it's the mint mark for the Philadelphia Mint. This is important because the Philadelphia Mint struck a colossal number of Georgia quarters, over 450 million. But don't let that huge number fool you. Among all those coins, only a tiny handful were struck with certain errors that make them worth a fortune today. So, if you have a 1999 Georgia quarter with a P, you're off to a good start. Now you need to dig deeper and look for specific characteristics. If the design isn't perfectly centered and part of the image is missing or shifted, you're in luck. This is when the coin was struck twice, creating a slight doubling of the lettering or the date. If you see shadows or doubled lines, don't spend that quarter. Some Georgia quarters were struck without the outer layer of nickel, exposing the copper core. These look distinctively different, a sort of reddish tone. Even without errors, an uncirculated, pristine Georgia quarter graded MS68 or higher can be worth thousands. In certain cases, the perfect combination of an error and superb condition has pushed auction prices up past the $1 million mark. That's how we get to the $1.1 million valuation. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I was helping my dad clean out his garage. You know how dads have about 17 coffee cans full of spare change? Well, we dumped them out on the workbench, and there it was, a shiny 1999 Georgia quarter with a little something off about it. At first, I figured it was just dirty. But when I looked closer, I noticed the letters looked almost doubled. My heart did a little tap dance in my chest. Could this be the jackpot? I spent the next week researching and eventually sent it to a professional grading service. It turned out not to be a double die, just some scuff marks. But that moment taught me two things. 1, you never know what you'll find, and 2, it's always worth checking out. If you think you've got a valuable Georgia quarter, don't toss it back in your wallet. Take clear, high-resolution photos of both sides, compare it to reference photos online to see if it matches known errors, submit it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. These folks are the gold standard and can officially certify the coin's value. Authentication is key because collectors won't pay big bucks without professional grading. Why on earth would someone pay over $1 million for a quarter? The answer comes down to three factors. Error coins are extremely scarce. A coin that looks like it just left the mint can be worth exponentially more. Wealthy collectors want the rarest examples, and they're willing to pay top dollar. It's a bit like owning an original painting. Even though millions of prints exist, the real thing is priceless. So, the next time you get a handful of change, don't dismiss that little Georgia quarter. Take a closer look. That tiny coin could be your ticket to a completely different life, paying off debt, buying your dream house, or just telling your friends you found $1 million in the couch cushions. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like more tips on rare coins worth serious money, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're building a community of coin hunters just like you, and I'd love to have you along for the ride. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or have a story to share. I read every single one. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers. What if I told you that the loose change rattling around in your car's cup holder could be worth more than your entire car? No, really, today we're diving deep into a little silver beauty that could make you a millionaire overnight. I'm talking about the 1999 P Connecticut quarter, a coin that's not just old enough to have its own Spotify playlist but could also fetch you up to $1.2 million in the right market. Grab a comfy seat, maybe a cold drink, and stick with me because over the next 50 minutes, we're going to break down exactly why this quarter is so special, how to identify the valuable ones, and how you could turn that 25-cent piece into a life-changing payday. And I'll share a personal story about the time I almost spent a rare quarter on a vending machine burrito. Spoiler alert, it did not end well. Alright, first things first, let's set the stage. It's 1999. The Backstreet Boys are telling us they want it that way. Y2K panic is in full swing. And the US Mint launches the 50-state quarters program, which would go on to become one of the most successful coin programs in American history. Connecticut state quarter came out that year, featuring the famous charter oak tree on the reverse side. Millions of these were minted, so why in the world would one be worth over $1 million today? The majority of these coins are worth face value. But a tiny percentage have errors or characteristics that make collectors go absolutely bonkers. This means the image was struck twice, leaving a subtle doubling of letters or images. The design is literally shifted off the coin's center. Extremely crisp detail in the texture. Proof-like finish on a regular circulation coin. It's like finding a four-leaf clover in a field full of grass. They're out there, but you've got to look carefully. The 1999 P Connecticut quarter that sold for $1.2 million had a dramatic double die error combined with pristine uncirculated condition and exceptional luster. Imagine pulling that out of your pocket to pay for a soda. That's like trading a Lamborghini for a can of Sprite. Some experts estimate that there could be only a few dozen in truly mint-state condition with dramatic errors. Millions were minted, but time, circulation, and clumsy pockets have whittled them down. That's why you have to check every coin carefully. It's kind of like dating. You'll have to sift through a lot of duds to find the one that takes your breath away. Pay special attention to the word Connecticut, the date, and United States of America. If you see shadow-like doubling, you might be in luck. Is the tree off to one side? A dramatic shift means higher value. Coins with full original mint luster are worth way more. If you think you found something special, take it to a certified coin grading service. This can make the difference between a $10 find and a six-figure jackpot. A few years back, I was cleaning out my old coin jar. I spotted a shiny Connecticut quarter that looked different. My gut told me it was special, but hunger got the best of me. I took it down to the vending machine at work. Slid it in. Punched the code for a burrito, and as I watched that sad, frozen brick drop, it hit me. I should have checked that coin. Later that day, I read an article about valuable state quarters, and sure enough, my memory of the coin matched a double die example. To this day, I'm haunted by that burrito. Learn from my mistakes. Always check your quarters before you spend them. Right now, the current market value for the highest grade, rare error 1999 P Connecticut quarters can reach $1.2 million at auction. Lower grade error coins have sold for between $5,000 and $20,000, depending on their rarity and condition. This is why collectors go nuts for them. You never know which one you're going to find. A single quarter can pay off your mortgage, fund your retirement, or buy you a fleet of vending machines stocked with burritos. Just don't use the quarter to buy one. You might be wondering, where do I even find these? Dealers often have error coins you can examine, old collections or treasure troves. Buy rolls of quarters and search them yourself. Remember, the key is consistency. Make a habit of checking every quarter you get back in change. Let's say you hit the jackpot and find $1 million quarter. PCGS or NGC are the big names in grading. Heritage Auctions and Stacksbauers handle high-end coins. Sometimes, a collector will pay more for the right piece. Never rush into a sale without doing your homework. The charter oak on the coin was a real tree in Hartford, Connecticut. Legend says Connecticut's charter was hidden in the oak to keep it from being seized. The tree blew down in a storm in 1856. The 1999 P Connecticut quarter was the fifth released in the state quarters program. Anytime big money is involved, there are folks ready to take advantage. Always use reputable grading services they get. Everything in writing. Be wary of too good to be true offers. Never mail your coin without insurance. You don't need to be a millionaire to enjoy collecting coins. Every quarter has a story, whether it's history, art, or economics, but if you're lucky, your collection can turn into a fortune. Alright, coin enthusiasts, we've covered a lot of ground today. From the basics of the 1999 P Connecticut quarter to the thrill of the hunt, and even the heartbreak of a burrito that cost me a rare coin. I hope this video inspired you to check your spare change with fresh eyes. If you learned something new or you're feeling inspired to start your own hunt for $1 million quarters, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I share weekly videos on rare coins, coin collecting strategies, and how you can build wealth one coin at a time. And if you've got a story about a rare coin you found, or lost, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Thanks for spending this time with me. Now go check your pockets, your couch cushions, and maybe your glove compartment. Your $1 million Connecticut quarter might be closer than you think. Where your spare change might just spare your wallet and change your life. Now before you toss that pocket full of quarters into a vending machine or a parking meter, you better listen up real close. Today we're talking about a coin that might be hiding in plain sight. A 25-cent piece that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $1.3 million. And it's not gold, it's not ancient, it's not even from some top secret vault. It's a simple 1967 Washington quarter. With no mint mark. Now before you run to the couch cushions or dig through your laundry pile, let's break this story down. I'm going to show you exactly what to look for, the history behind it, how rare it actually is, and why collectors are fighting over it like it's the last slice of pizza on earth. And yep, there's a personal story in here too, because believe it or not, I almost gave one of these quarters away for free at a garage sale for a soda. Yep. So stick around because this is one coin you definitely don't want to overlook. So grab a drink, get comfy, and let's go treasure hunting. Alright, so let's start with the basics. The 1967 Washington quarter was part of what numismatists call the transitional era. In American coinage, sounds fancy, right? Basically, it was a time when the US Mint was shaking things up. Silver had been removed from quarters back in 1965 because of rising silver prices, so by 1967 the Mint was producing quarters made of a copper-nickel clad composition instead of 90% silver. Now here's where it gets juicy. There's no mint mark on the 1967 quarter. That's not an error, that's just how they were made for circulation between 1965 and 1967 to reduce coin hoarding. During the coin shortage, they intentionally left off the mint mark, so while most people would glance at a 1967 quarter and go, nothing special, some of those coins, especially ones with specific errors or striking qualities, have become worth a small fortune. Now what kind of fortune are we talking about? One of these bad boys went for $1.3 million at auction. That's 130,000 times its face value for a coin that could have bought you a candy bar at the time. So what makes this specific 1967 quarter so incredibly valuable? Let's break it down. There are only a few known examples of a 1967 quarter that were accidentally struck on a silver planchet instead of the standard copper nickel one. That's a big deal. It means the mint may have accidentally used a leftover silver blank from previous years. If you're lucky enough to have one of these silver planchet errors, you're looking at life-changing money. The $1,001,967 quarter was graded MS-68 by a professional grading service that's like Olympic-level perfection. It's so rare to find coins from this era in such pristine condition because most of them were tossed into jars, wallets, vending machines, or your uncle's old recliner. Collectors love stories, and the 1967 quarter sits at a key point in U.S. coinage history. No mint mark, no silver, and the first real appearance of modern clad coinage. It represents a shift in collectors' love, shifts, especially the accidental ones. Sometimes the value of a coin isn't just about the metal or the date, it's about how many survived in top condition and with rare traits. In this case, only a handful are believed to exist with all the right attributes. Alright, now to the good stuff. How do you know if you have a 1967 quarter that could buy you a house and a boat? Let's go Through a simple checklist, a normal 1967 quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. A silver error coin will weigh closer to 6.25 grams. Grab a small digital scale and weigh it. If it's heavier than normal, you might be onto something. Clad quarters will show a copper stripe along the edge. Silver ones won't, so flip it sideways and check that rim. This one's for the old school crowd. Silver has a distinctive ring. When dropped gently on a hard surface, it's like a bell. Clad coins sound dull. If it sings, you might want to bring it to a professional. Look closely at the details: strong clean lines, sharp lettering, and an uncirculated look are what you want. If it looks like it just left the mint, you might be sitting on gold. Well, silver, but you get it. If you think you've got something special, send it off to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll grade it and possibly certify it as a rare error coin. That's the golden ticket to auction houses and serious buyers. About 5 years ago, I was helping my neighbor with a garage sale. Nice guy, retired plumber. He had a whole box of coins he wanted to sell, 25 cents a piece. Didn't matter the year, just take your pick. So I'm digging through and I see a shiny 1967 quarter. Looks practically uncirculated. My gut says, hey, that's a nice coin, maybe grab it, but my caffeine-starved brain says, no, just go buy a soda instead. 2 months later, that same neighbor tells me his grandson looked through the box and sent a few coins off to get graded. Turns out one of them was a silver planchet 1967 quarter. Sold it at a coin show for over $1 million. Let me tell you, I haven't looked at a quarter the same way since I checked them all. Now I'm that weird guy at the gas station holding up coins to the light while everyone else just wants their change. Lesson learned: always check, always be curious. That one moment could be the difference between soda money and yacht money. Alright folks, let's bring this treasure hunt home. The 1967 no mint Mark Washington quarter isn't just a relic, it's a potential jackpot hiding in your coin jar, in your glove box, or in that drawer you haven't opened since Clinton was in office. It's not about being a professional collector, it's about being aware, knowing what to look for, and taking a minute to inspect something that could literally change your life. So the next time you're handed some change at the grocery store or digging through that old coffee can of coins, remember this story. Don't ignore the quarters, they might just be millionaires in disguise. If you learned something new today or you're already digging through your coin stash, give this video a like, and hey, don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we've got plenty more coin tips, stories, and strategies coming your way. And if you find a valuable coin and make some cash, let us know in the comments. I'd love to hear your story.